Hello guys and dolls and welcome back. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a very epic makeup haul. I've got stuff from Sephora, from Ulta, things that I picked up at the makeup show, and I think that's it. There will be a couple of things that were sent as PR samples, but they're things that you can get at Sephora and Ulta. So I thought it would be nice to sort of include them with this, but I will let you know what things were sent to me so that we're completely clear and, you know, copacetic and all that nice neat junk. I also want to mention that my background is a bit different. This is actually my makeup setup, so normally the camera is facing the other way. I just kind of wanted to try it out. I've never really filmed with my makeup setup in the background of a video, and I have been taking steps to try to improve it and make it a little more aesthetically pleasing. So we're going to go ahead and get started with my Sephora haul. Yeah, so I love Sephora, you guys know that. This thing is actually the birthday gift for the Beauty Insiders. So I went ahead and got the soy face cleanser and the rose face mask from Fresh. So this year they actually had a thing where you could choose. There was this set and there was also a set from Marc Jacobs. And while I love Marc Jacobs, I already have that eyeliner, and the lipstick just didn't look like something I would get a ton of use out of. Whereas the soy face cleanser is one of my favorites. So I thought, oh my god, I could just use this as a travel one when I go to New York in a couple weeks. Done. And then I really love the rose face mask. I think it smells so good. It's like one of the few like rose scented things I really like. So very, very excited about that. That was really cool. Next thing I picked up was also skincare. This is actually something that Mikey wanted. This is his face cleanser because again, we're going to New York and he didn't want to, like the First Aid Beauty face cleanser comes in this like huge tube and he didn't want to take the big tube with him to New York. The next couple of things are from Clinique. This is something that was sent as a PR package, so I'm being totally clear about that. For those of you who've been watching my channel for a long time, you guys know that my favorite tubing mascara for a really long time was the Clinique High Impact Curling Mascara, and then somehow that just sort of disappeared from shelves. Like I would go to Sephora, I'd go to Ulta where I would always pick it up and it wasn't there. That kind of sucks, but Clinique does have this new mascara called the Lash Power Flutter to Full Mascara. Now the Lash Power line is another of those tubing mascara lines, and they used to, I think they started out with like a lower lash mascara or something that had a very thin brush, and in the past I've liked the formula, I just haven't liked the brushes very much. So with this one, you get a brush that looks like this, so it's sort of tapered and stuff, and you twist it to get either more mascara on the brush or less. So I kind of like that concept. MAC has a mascara like that called Hot and Naughty or something, or Too Hot, Too Naughty, I don't remember. I like that it's customizable. You can get more mascara on the wand at any given time. I did use this yesterday and I was really impressed with the volume that I got, because that's one of the things with tubing mascaras. You get that smudge resistance, you get the flake free, you know, they come off so easy with warm water. They're just the best mascaras ever, but you sacrifice volume almost all the time. So I've been finding a couple of these lately that actually give you volume, and I'm pretty excited about it. By the way, I'm not like, I'm sure this probably looks like I'm chucking things at you. Sorry, I'm tossing them on my bed. The next thing that I picked up, this is from Sunday Riley. This is one of the things I kind of went to Sephora looking for. You guys know I love Sunday Riley skincare, and just really briefly we'll talk about Skincare Sundays. I know that series has kind of dried up a little bit, and let me explain. I did them through June. I kind of switched them to an every other week kind of format because it was just too much to do every single week. And then on top of that, just life just came and like crapped on me in July, which I've talked about a lot before in other videos, and I'm not going to rehash the whole thing. But July was really, really difficult. Then, starting in August, I started prepping for all of my Halloween videos, and that's kind of a priority for my channel, is all the Halloween videos. I didn't do Halloween last year, so I have to do it this year, and oh boy, am I ever going to do it. So, really, really excited about that, and there's a lot of pre-prep planning, testing out looks, all that kind of stuff. So the skincare videos are another thing that takes a lot of time and energy and just so much dedication to that series. So unfortunately that kind of has to be on hold for a little while. I'm hoping to pick that back up again in November. And in that time I can try new stuff and bring you brand new products to talk about. So one of the things I was really excited about is this UFO oil from Sunday Riley. This is another treatment oil that has 1.5 salicylic acid, and I love her other treatment oil, which is the Luna, which has retinol. I'm excited to try this out because I'm using a different salicylic acid product during the day, and it's kind of interesting to put it in an oil. It kind of combines two steps. It could very easily kind of kind of help me pare down my kind of crazy skincare routine. One thing I really like about this UFO oil is that it's incredibly thin, like super, super thin. So if you have oilier skin and you feel kind of weird about putting oil on your face and you feel like it'll be thick and heavy, this would be a great oil for you. The other thing that I like about it is that it's green. That's just fun. That's just straight up fun. So there's a whole bunch of boxes in here. I picked up a whole bunch of new shades of the Anastasia Perfect Brow Pencil. That's the one that's sort of like a powder pencil. A couple of months ago, I picked up the Auburn shade, and I really, really enjoyed it. But I don't know, sometimes I feel like it's a little too red for me. I don't know, because I'm so fair. So I went ahead and picked up a few other colors just to sort of experiment with it. And because I also want to stock this in my kit, I want this to be one of the, the products that I have every single shade for everybody. So I went ahead and picked up medium brown, caramel, and soft brown. Today I'm wearing soft brown, and I think it's a really good combination of the warmth of my hair color along with the coolness of my natural hair color, which is sort of like an ash brown. So it gives me kind of somewhere in between there. Highly dig these. I went eyeshadow cuckoo bananas for Anastasia Beverly Hills. I got the Modern Renaissance palette and I lost my shit because it was so good. I love that eyeshadow palette. It's just like crazy good quality, but it's a lot of warm colors. So I wanted to explore what else the Anastasia Beverly Hills line had to offer. So I started out with one, and then I got another, and then I got another. So this is actually over the course of several months, to be clear. I didn't like go out and buy all of these yesterday. Not that I'm above doing that. So the first little quad that I got is more or less the quad that they have, like when you go to the display, there's like all the stores have the same quad, which is Pink Champagne, Dusty Rose, Deep Plum, and then they usually have, I think, Rosette. Which I actually have in a different quad here. So I'll go ahead and put Rosette in that. So this is the kind of quad that they have when you go to Sephora. Lovely colors. A friend of mine purchased it first and she showed it to me. I'm like, oh my god, I need that. So that was kind of the first one I picked up, minus Rosette. I went ahead and picked up Rosette later. It's a whole thing. And then this little quad that I picked up, this isn't one that I would necessarily use together. I just really liked all these colors. So if memory serves me, this is Gem, Orange Soda, Truffle Glitter, and Smoke. And I like that Smoke was a very cool toned mid-tone color. The other one I've used quite a lot, and I did get this as a quad to use together. So this is Fresh, Birkin, Intense Gaze, which I thought was such a sexy name, like a very subtly sexy name for an eyeshadow. And then Hot Chocolate. Love this one. This is actually probably my favorite of like the quads in terms of like using them all together. Really great. Fresh is one of my favorite highlighters of all time. So then I was like, okay, well, I did Anastasia. Let's do Makeup Forever. I love the Makeup Forever eyeshadow formula. Like, love it. I think it's one of the best. And so I've already picked up the first two palettes. I think they came out with a third palette, and I didn't get it because I already had like half the shades in it, and I was like, oh, I already have half these. Let's do something else. So they came out with a all matte eyeshadow palette, and you know how I feel about that. So I decided to go ahead and pick it up. Really, when I'm looking at this palette, I see a lot of colors that are going to work really well in conjunction with sparkly eyeshadows that I have, or with different textures, or even just all together. I gotta be honest with you, just looking at this, it's a little bit uninspiring by itself. But because I know of the quality of the Makeup Forever eyeshadows, I'm excited about it. You know how that is? Where you're like, okay, that doesn't really look appealing, but I know it's gonna be good. I have faith. These next couple of things are from the Estee Edit, which is kind of like the Estee Lauder. I don't even know how to describe what it is. It's sort of like their fashion brand that's at Sephora, because the rest of the Estee Lauder line is not at Sephora. So it's kind of weird. But they send me some PR packages from time to time. So 3 of these things were sent to me through PR, and one of them I picked up myself when I was at Sephora. So they came out with these new things called Metallic Shadow, or Metallishadow, I think is probably how you're meant to pronounce it. It's a cream and a powder in one. So looks like this. You pop it open. This is a very pigmented cream eyeshadow. Oh my god, it's so awesome. And then the bottom has a loose powder that you then press on top of the cream shadow. I'm surprised no one's done this before. It seems like such a natural thing to incorporate like a sticky cream with a loose powder so that you can get the best of both worlds. So it comes in a bunch of different colors. Like, oh my gosh. So once they sent these to me in the mail, I wanted to check out the other colors that they had. I didn't end up picking up any more colors because once I got to Sephora, I realized I didn't remember which ones I had at home. Because I'm stupid. While I was at the Estee edit area, they also had these eyeliners called the Inside Track, and oh my god, I am so excited about this. The one that I picked up is called Bordeaux Nude. So you have one side, which is a fabulous, fabulous burgundy, just one of the best brown burgundy eyeliners I've ever seen. I just love the color. I love the slip. I mean, it just glides on the skin like butter. And then it has this amazing, amazing pinky nude on the other side. So again, kind of with my traveling to New York in mind, I thought, you know, this is an eyeliner I could probably wear every day when we're in New York and be happy. I think that might be it for me for Sephora. We're going to go ahead and move on to the makeup show. So the first thing I want to show you guys is a brand called Senna Cosmetics. I had heard about Senna for several years. My friend Jacqueline is into them, and a few other people that I know are really into the line, and I never really dipped my toe in. I feel like people told me they were good, but they weren't like overly enthusiastic. They weren't like, oh my god, you gotta try it. So I never did, and now I'm kicking myself because these are kind of amazing. So Senna Cosmetics has been around for 40 years, and they have some of the best eyeshadows I've tried. I really think they're quite fantastic, and the texture of their blushes is also really, really fantastic. That's something that really cannot be downplayed, is the texture of blush. Like sometimes there's companies that come out with things that are great color, but they look kind of chalky or pasty or like just weird on the skin. Whereas when you have something that has a great texture, it looks soft and lofty and pillowy and like does all the good stuff, you know? When I was at the booth, they actually had this little display because they were celebrating their 40th anniversary. So what they did was this collection of eyeshadow palettes that included colors that they had from the last 4 decades, and 2 blushes for each as well. So here's the 70s. Super excited. This is one that like totally drew me in with this color right here. It's called Cinnamon Wine. One of my favorite burgundy eyeshadows ever. And like, can you sense a theme? I have a thing for burgundy eyeshadow. It's a thing. It looks great with my eye color. I just love it. The next is the 80s, which is almost like the opposite of the 70s. Oh, and they have names on the inside too. So the 70s was Freeform. The 80s is Vivid Excess. Clearly. I don't know why, but this totally reminds me of Dustin Hunter. Dustin, if you're watching, you need this. This is just like right up your alley and around the corner. So this is such a cool eyeshadow palette. Really fun colors, really vivid, really bold. And again, the blushes in this are just beautiful. And the eyeshadows are too. I think I was just more surprised by the blushes because I didn't really buy it for the blushes. I bought it with the eyeshadows in mind. And then when I ended up liking the blushes just as much, I was really excited. So for the 90s, there was the nude revolution. So we have those more like nude, naked, matte eyeshadows. There is one with shimmer here because, I mean, it's not like we wore all matte eyeshadows in the 90s. And this one actually has a contour color. So that's one thing I liked about this too, is like by picking up all the different decades, I got different things from each one. Like some had a really great highlight and some had a really great contour color, and you're kind of combining them all together. So the final one is Y2K, and that was called Selfie Sparkle. And this one has some cooler tones and some real, oh my gosh, this one right here, Apricot Sparkle. Beautiful. So what's really interesting about these as well is these are not colors that are in their regular line. I think there's 1 or 2 that may be in their regular line, but otherwise you're actually getting to kind of revisit through the archives of this brand and see their old eyeshadows, which is pretty freaking cool. I really wish MAC would do that. I think if MAC did that, actually, that would be a really, really smart idea, and they'd make a lot of money because there's so many like discontinued MAC eyeshadows that we wish that we could have back. So this is one of my better purchases at any kind of makeup convention I've ever gone to. I've used these at least a couple of times a week since I picked them up when I went to the makeup show, and I intend to keep on using them pretty regularly because the quality is fantastic. I love the colors, I love the textures, blah blah blah. All of this to say there will be a tutorial coming up with these at some point in the future. I can't guarantee because, you know, Halloween's happening. More things that I picked up when I was at the makeup show. The first is this AJ Crimson artist kit, and AJ Crimson is another artistry driven line. So this is a foundation kit. This was $150 for the foundation palette. I believe there was a show price. There was some kind of a discount on this, but if you wanted to go out and purchase it, that's what it is. What this is a customizable foundation palette. So these are all you know, cream foundations, and you pop them in. You can also use them separately, so you can just buy the cream and put it in a Z palette if you don't want to buy the kit itself. I just kind of wanted to have it all nice and tidy in one little thing, and I wanted to try out a few different colors. I got some colors that I thought would match my skin tone. I got this one here, which I thought would be a good color corrector, and then I got some that I thought would be a great color corrector for very deep tones and medium skin tones, as well as one that I thought might work well as a contour shade. It's a little bit too warm to use as a contour on myself. Anyway, I really like this. I was pretty impressed with the way that these work. If you haven't already checked out my Bomb Makeup Challenge video, I will go ahead and have a link in the description bar down below. It is this look that you see here, and I used this as my foundation as well as the powder that I picked up, which, oh, I already put that away. I already put that with my kit makeup, so I explained the whole situation in the video itself, but essentially it's a really great powder, but it's just a little bit too deep for my skin tone. I know on camera you can't see as much because there's so much lighting and everything that sort of drowns everything out, but trust and believe it's just a little bit too dark. And then the other thing that I picked up from the makeup show that I was like, oh yes, so excited about it, is, I don't even know what that was, don't mind me. There was a tiny little booth right next to, I think, Makeup Forever maybe, and it was the London Brush Company, and I'd never heard of this before, but just kind of, the brushes looked interesting. She had them all, you know, like laying out, and there were some really unique shapes and textures and things like that, so I thought, you know what? That looks like something I'd like to check out. So my friend Gabby and I actually stood there and talked with the owner of the company, Sean, for quite some time. She's a lovely woman, and I really kind of got like a good vibe from her, and the brushes seemed really, really good quality. So I decided to go ahead and pick up 4. This is the one that she actually told me to purchase. This is the Nouveau 4. I believe this is a synthetic haired brush, and it's a triangular shape. And I have tried brushes like this. I think that Real Techniques has one like this. And I'm going to be honest, I wasn't the biggest fan of it. I felt like it didn't have a nice slide to the skin, and I typically do not like flat foundation brushes. So this is kind of like a twist on that I wasn't sure I was going to love, but I've used this almost every day since I've got it. I love this. I love this. I love this. My favorite little baby. The next couple of ones, I mean, honestly, I love all the brushes that I picked up from the London Brush Company. The next one is, it's called Best Kept Secret 3. It's a very short eyeshadow brush. I don't know exactly like what like the story is behind why these are so tiny, but I really, really love it. So I really love these short-handled brushes for 2 reasons. For one, they easily fit in a makeup bag. Done and done, very easy. The other thing is if you don't have, you know, your glasses or contacts in, you can get really close to your mirror and see what you're doing without knocking on the mirror with your brush handle. So I'm pretty excited about that, and it works beautifully. It just blends so, and this one is also triangularly shaped. The next, and this is probably my favorite, is the Classic 5. This is one that I like to use for very detailed work, but I've used it to smoke out the lower lash line. I have used this to do all over lid color. I've even blended out the crease with it a bit. It's kind of an all-around brush, and I'm almost like hesitant to talk about how good it is because I kind of want to hoard them all and keep them to myself. It's kind of like a little secret, but I am sharing that with you. The next thing is the Classic 7, and this is more of like a flat, just like a shader brush. This one is actually good for blending out the crease as well. It's not really the shape that you'd think of for blending out the crease, but something about the way that this brush is made, it just works so seamlessly, so perfectly. They just feel good in the hand. I do enjoy the color of the handles as well, the burgundies and the deep greens. You guys know I'm kind of obsessed with those colors, which probably was the first thing that drew me in, like walking by like, oh, what's that? But I stayed for the quality, and I'm going to continue to purchase these because they're fabulous. I went to Ulta because I was out of conditioner, or I'm almost out of conditioner of this one kind. I like to switch it up a little bit. And I'm very, very focused on not using conditioners that have a bunch of silicones that weigh your hair down. They really don't hydrate your hair, and they just kind of band-aid the problem, and they don't actually help to hydrate and repair the hair. So one conditioner that I really, really just love and highly recommend is the Minoy conditioner from Carol's Daughter. I love it. So I went there to pick it up, and they didn't have the normal 8-ounce size that I normally buy. So I decided to pick up this little kit because we're going to New York and I needed mini bottles of shampoo and conditioner anyway. So this was kind of like a great little idea. And then it came with one of the masks. And I think that this was, I don't know, $23, $28, $29, something in that area. And when I was actually checking out at Ulta, I remembered that they had their sale. A couple of times a year they give a 20% off coupon, so I went back and grabbed the big size of the conditioner because honestly I use it so frequently. It smells like beyond good. Beyond good. I hadn't picked up a couple of things from Shea Moisture. I wanted to pick up some stuff for the Bomb Makeup Challenge, which again, if you haven't seen, I will have linked in the description bar down below. Really fun. That's actually the makeup look that I'm wearing right now. So the first thing that I picked up was this blush called Rose Quartz, and as you can see, mine is quite broken. While I was filming my video, the blush fell out and just crumbled and broke on my floor. It was quite tragic. It just kind of sucks that it broke. And then the other thing that I picked up is this lipstick, and this packaging for this lipstick is super awesome. It has that nice, like, kind of smooth, rubberized feel. It's not quite as sticky as, like, the NARS packaging that's similar in feel to this. It's a beautiful brown with gold lettering. It's very elegante. And this color is Tea Rose. It's a beautiful mauve-y pink. Love this. This I do enjoy, and it smells good too. Next couple of things that we picked up while we were at Ulta, more travel stuff. Mikey got the Cool Fix. This is an ingrown hair treatment that he uses after he shaves. And then I picked up this vitamin hydrating mist because I thought that this would be nice for traveling. I don't want to take my big, I don't want to take the Jasmine Garden. First of all, this is very expensive, and second of all, it's a glass bottle. It's really heavy. That's going to push me over the weight limit for my suitcase. So I decided to go ahead and pick up a smaller water mist. This is from First Aid Beauty. I've had really, really great luck with the skincare items from First Aid Beauty. Pretty much everything I've tried from them I've enjoyed. In fact, you can even see right there. That's the facial radiance pads that both me and Michael use. So, travel size stuff for travel. It happens. And then when I was checking out, this is the funniest thing. I'm so excited to tell you guys this story. So when I was checking out, sometimes Ulta will have gift with purchases. Not very often, but sometimes they do. So I asked about something else behind the counter, and they were like, oh, hey, by the way, we're trying to clear out all of our gift with purchases. You can get as many as you want for a penny. And I was like, okay. So I went ahead and picked up two. These were fragrance gift with purchases. So the first one is Daisy by Marc Jacobs, and this is a notebook for a penny. I just thought it was kind of funny in a way. They were just so eager to get rid of them. And it's just, it's a cute little notebook. You can't go wrong with a little cute blue notebook. There's no harm to it. And then the other thing was from Dolce & Gabbana. And I had no idea what this was. But they were like, hey, Dolce & Gabbana. And I thought, for some reason, I thought it might have been like fragranced like it. But it is a little thing that you slip your phone in for when you're working out. Yay! Kind of weird. So, these were weird gift with purchases. I can see why they had trouble giving these away. Then the last thing that I want to share with you guys is something that is not actually something I purchased. This is something that Sugarpill sent me today, literally as I was getting ready to make this video. So freaking cool. This is the Sugarpill Pro palette, and this is a customizable palette, so you can put whatever you want in it. These are just the colors they sent me, and I don't know how they knew I needed a new Poison Plum, but here you go. They also sent me a note with this that said that she asked Trixie who her favorite old G YouTuber is, and I was in her top 3. Hey. So that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is a really fun video to make, and I hope that you'll come back for more. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you want to see more videos, click the multiple links in the description bar down below to playlists, as well as links to all the products mentioned in this massive haul. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.